It was hot during the days. Even with the overhanging cottonwoods, the heat cooked down, and in the heat there seemed to be an endless succession of sweating, angry people, all griping about prices and all carrying very expensive cameras and wearing god-awful Bermuda shorts and colored shirts and blouses and tank tops, and everybody had to touch everything, grab and clutch and scream and pull, and it was incredible. Janet and her mother had never seen a festival before, but Janet swore that if she lived through this one, recognition or not, she'd never do another. There was the man from Texas who came with a truck, a huge rented truck, and bought paintings he thought would be good investments. He didn't buy them for their art or looks. He didn't even really look at them, but because he might make money on them. He just bought them and loaded them into the truck, and when the truck was full, he pulled away, and everybody watched him drive through the crowded streets until he was out of sight. There was the little old lady in the wildly striped pantsuit who decided she wanted a stone head carved by Janet's mother, only she didn't want to pay for it. Janet had been talking to an unlistening couple from Pasadena, the kind who ask questions but don't wait for an answer before the next question, and when she turned, the little old lady was struggling to walk off with the head. Since the sculpted stone head weighed just over 75 pounds, it was losing battle, but the old lady tried and was downright indignant when Janet caught up with her and took the head back where it had been. There were people everywhere. People and money, and more people and more money. Janet couldn't believe it. Didn't, in a way, want to believe it. It's as though a huge pen with all the poor-taste people in the world has been opened, and they've all come to the festival, Janet said the second night while they were staggering into the house to eat a cold snack and drop into their beds. From these people you want recognition? I'll discuss artistic philosophies later, her mother sighed. Right now I'm for bed, and I don't even care if I sell anything. But she did sell. They came to buy, and along with all the other artists and craftspeople at the festival, Janet's mother sold everything she'd brought. Could have sold more. Could have sold anything. I'm going to try a brick, Janet said at one point. Find me a brick, and I'll label it art, and we'll see if we can get $10 for it. It was a joke, but it probably would have worked. One girl down the way 4 booths was selling decorative wood, driftwood from the gullies out of town, and when she ran out, she sent a friend out with a pickup to one of the gullies to get a load of wood that most of the locals burned as firewood, which she sold right out of the truck for $4 and $5 a small piece, and the crowds were crushing each other to get to the truck. It was madness, an insane rush of pushing people wanting to buy, to see art and the artists. Heat and crowds, screaming and shoving, splashes of color, cameras clicking, dust. And just when it seemed to Janet that she could stand no more, that she was going to crack, just then she turned, and there was Julio. His eyes were arrogant, black and distant, and he stood tall in elevated shoes, and he startled her until she looked down and saw that he was holding out a quart jar full of ice and brown liquid. Iced tea. He made it a statement, simple and flat, but he kept his eyes averted, looking over her head because of the macho thing, and because they didn't truly know each other yet. It is for you. Janet looked at the jar. The sides glistened with condensed moisture and cold droplets running down, and she thought she'd never seen anything so